Alright, hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott with Rickety Ski Reviews. First off, I just wanted to apologize to everyone. Over the weekend, basically on Friday, I shot like a really long video. I was gonna react to the different celebrities skiing and kind of go from there. And the first one I started with was the Kardashians, right? I was gonna react to the Kardashian skiing. And for whatever reason, they just like, I tried to upload this probably 3 different times. If you have any footage, even slightly of the Kardashians, they will completely block the content, do a copyright claim. So I spent like an hour and a half this weekend trying to edit some version of this video, and it just completely kept getting blocked. So I'll give you the cliff notes now, rather than like trying to continue to upload it or risking the channel. I cannot believe how like diligent they are with that content, but I don't know. So let me just give you an overview of the Kardashian stuff. Basically, I was watching them ski. They were on vacation in Vail, and it just looked like normal skiing. It looked like people who learned in the 90s and the early 2000s on straight skis, and that didn't like really change from there. The biggest thing I noticed is just that they were skiing with their kids, and they were like, oh wow, it's really hard to get their boots on. And I don't know, overall I was like super positive about it. They were really wholesome. They were actually like doing the ski lessons with their kids, bringing them to lessons. So yeah, I had no real critique. The skiing was fine. What did I say? The biggest things I noticed were just like, it's just basic stuff. People who go from straight skis and don't carve, where they're not really loading the downhill ski. I don't know. But like, again, these people aren't professional skiers or claiming to be like experts. So I tend not to be too judgmental about just normal skiing, because honestly, it's like, who cares? The biggest things I was judgmental about was Kim had the stupid helmet with the built-in goggles. God, I was like, this is who it's for. People who don't know better, who are willing to spend $900 to $1,000 on a helmet. God, those stupid helmets with the built-in goggles are so ugly. So anyway, I was basically ripping on that. I was also talking about how Kim like doesn't wear snow pants. Like, she just wears like pants and then tucks them into the boot, and how the whole point of snow pants is really to kind of keep snow from getting inside the tongue of your boot. Because not only does that get uncomfortable, but it can also like melt once it gets your body heat on it and then drip down into your boot shell. And what will happen is, after enough of that happens, you can get water underneath your footbed, and then that water will freeze and it can make your boots super cold. Sometimes when people complain about cold feet, that's actually what's going on. Their boots are just getting super cold from the water kind of re-freezing. But anyway, that's my summary of it. I'm not going to try to do any more content like that, because I don't know, it was just a huge time sink. I wasted a ton of time shooting it and trying to edit it just for YouTube to flag it. So for now, I'll leave the Kardashians alone. I also reviewed Arnold Schwarzenegger skiing. He's a big Idaho ski guy. My biggest thing was just, yeah, he's like 75 now. And he definitely, again, also skis like somebody who skis on straight skis. He's just very much like pointing the skis in the direction. But I did notice that he loads the downhill ski, and I was really impressed for someone that age to figure out how to kind of load the downhill ski. And he's not like getting the full arc, but he's at least kind of coasting on the downhill pressure. And you know, that's impressive for somebody that age to pick that up. Austrians very famously are proud skiers, so yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you get a pass. That was pretty good skiing, especially for what you had to learn and relearn. So anyway, I don't know why I'm summarizing that celebrity skiing. I guess I just want to feel like maybe all that time I put into that video was in a total sink, but I don't know. Sorry there wasn't any content this weekend. I did create it, I just couldn't upload it. Alright, today, let's check out some more curated content. I'm curious to see some of their newer stuff. A lot of the stuff I was doing was starting out in 2022, and let's try a ski that I did review as well, the Fischer Ranger. Let's see Curated's take on it. From what I recall, I really liked the Fischer Rangers. I thought they had really nice shape, they carved really well, and did a nice job kind of floating on the snow. I skied on the 90, Fischer Ranger 90. I really like them. Fischer tends to have like really easy initiation. Like if you kind of load the front of your boot at all, they're really quick to kind of change their shape and initiate the next turn. Just something about the shape. They've kind of got a pedigree of doing that. They did that even with the race skis, so I'll be interested to see Curated thought about Fischer Ranger. All right, let's watch Curated's review of the Fischer Ranger 96 for 2024. So when I talked to Tyler Thace, who's like the rep for there, he said that the 2023 is the same as the 2024. So these should be the same skis that I skied on. Looks like they're doing 96, so slightly wider, but I did the 90s and shouldn't be much different. Let's check out Curated's review. What could go wrong? I haven't watched this. This is a completely live reaction, but I don't know. I sometimes get a bad feeling going into this stuff. All right, let's react to Curated's 2024 Fischer Ranger 96 review. Oh God, I know that jacket. Thomas! My old nemesis. Whoa, there's a jacket I don't recognize. Hey, that's pretty good skiing. He's not rounding off his turns. He's kind of like setting. So if you think about it, you have like turn initiation, transition, and then you kind of pop into your next turn. He's kind of doing the first two parts where he's like loading a pretty good edge and kind of resting on it. But, so he's not skiing super aggressively, but for Curated, like this is really good form. Definitely not expert level, but at least he's doing something. Like the form that he does have and the parts of the turn he is participating in are very clean. So very disciplined skier. Just I don't know, just a little kind of set in stone. Like he's not locking into the next turn like I'd like to see, but that's okay. Still not bad. I don't know who this guy is or girl. I guess it's hard to tell from the helmet.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm a ski expert at Curated.com. I've helped over 1,000 people find the right gear for them. Today, I'm...
All right, Rob. So far, yeah, that makes sense, everything I was saying. Definitely older skiers tend to, like, if they're new to carving, it's hard to kind of have some of that muscle memory and know how to snap into the next turn. He's definitely skiing a little bit stale, and I don't know about expert. That's a little bit, I don't know, that's a little bit of a stretch based on his skiing, but he's certainly fundamentally a pretty good skier, a good skier. I don't know, not great, not an expert, but he's okay. Rob's not doing anything super wrong, so let's see how his opinion is. So far, outfit, you know, nothing to complain about here. Blue on blue, totally normal. All right, Rob G, let's see what you got to say.
I'm a ski expert at Curated.com. I've helped over 1,000 people find the right gear for them. Today, I'm here at Powder Mountain in Utah, where I've been testing the Ranger 96 ski from Fischer. Just so you know, I'm not sponsored by any brands. These reviews reflect my unbiased, honest opinion about the time I spent on the Fischer Ranger 96.
Fischer Ranger is 96 millimeters underfoot. It's an all-mountain ski that is going to carve the groomers really well and also be great off-piste.
My first impression on the ski was that when I leaned forward...
Okay, so far pretty good. Thomas kind of jumping in there. Powder Mountain's a pretty good place to take these. A 96, yeah, that's probably a pretty good combination. And probably a good place to test it. I'm surprised I haven't heard the term daily driver yet, because this is actually a ski that I would daily drive. But they never get that right. Oh, these 102s, daily driver. Oh, you got a 108, daily driver. A 96, crickets. It's like, especially on the West Coast in Utah. I wonder if this guy is from Powder Mountain. Because he's pretty clean skiing, Robert. Okay. Okay, so now he's gonna tell us what he's feeling, which is a breath of fresh air compared to some of these curated reviews where they're just kind of reading off of the list like Thomas was just doing. So let's see what Rob thinks and what he's feeling.
Through my boots on firmer terrain, I felt like the shovels were going to give way a little bit. I adjusted to skiing with a more centered stance, and there found that the ski was really fun, really playful.
Yeah, I don't think that's a ski issue. Look at that snow. That looks like wet, heavy snow. It looks like really sticky snow. I mean, I've skied on stuff like that, and it's almost like you're looking for the shadows when you're skiing because that's where the snow is going to have a better consistency. Especially in the West, specifically in Idaho. I don't know about Utah, but pretty similar climates. In Idaho, if the air is really still, the snow will get really kind of sticky and grabby. Whereas if it's really windy, it almost keeps some kind of light fluffiness into the snow. It's hard to describe, but windy days, like, it'll be brutal. You'll be covering your face with your arm just to get through the cat tracks. But it tends to be the best kind of snow because that air kind of keeps the snow crystals light and fluffy and separated. Whereas when the air is really still and the sun's beating down on the snow and it starts to sublimate, I think is the right word for it, what will happen is some of that snow will kind of congeal and then the surface will just grab at you. So he's talking about the shovels grabbing and he had to remount them. You shouldn't have to do that on those skis. They should be fine. I think it's just a snow condition issue. Or if you're not from the West and you're not used to that and don't know how to kind of read the snow, and you're like that, that is one thing that the West Coast people do a lot better than East Coast, is adjusting to different snow conditions. On the East, it's typically pretty boilerplate, except for in the spring, but you don't have to adjust a ton to different snow temps, whereas the West, there's a little bit wider range of snow temps and conditions. East Coast people have their own bag of issues. You don't need to shortchange East Coast skiers, they deal with enough, but this is one thing that West Coast people have to deal with a little bit more, is just the snow is such a range of conditions, and if you're not used to that, it could really throw you off. I've had times when I first came out west where, I just went over the front because the snow was so sticky and I wasn't used to it. So, anyway.
Great in a wide variety of terrain.
Don't forget, if you're looking for help finding the right skis for you, click the link in the description and we'll help you find the right setup.
Oh God, Thomas can't go 2 seconds. It's not even his video. Why is he plugging stuff? Thomas, get out of here. Scram, skedaddle, you hear me? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about Thomas getting out of the video, and then we're gonna see Robert ski. Robert, I watched like half a second of your skiing, and I can tell you, and this is a very common issue with skiers your age, your feet are very, very close together. And what happens when you do that is it makes it so you have to kind of tip your upper body to make the turn. Just keep your feet like athletic stance, and rather than trying to focus so much on making the skis turn with your upper body, just like keep a relaxed stance and just focus on your downhill foot. What you're trying to do is you're trying to turn and initiate with both of your feet. We call that almost like a double turn. Just relax, load your downhill ski and let that do the work. Try to just focus on initiating your turn with the downhill ski rather than with both of your feet kind of bunny hopping. What happens is people don't get very patient with their turns and they want them to initiate. So what you're doing is you're kind of like keeping your feet together and kind of hopping and twisting your ankles to get the ski to initiate rather than being patient. If I was gonna give you some free advice, Robert, just focus on your downhill ski and keep yourself in a nice, relaxed, athletic stance. But that being said, that's not the worst case I've seen of it. You seem to just do it when you get into the trees and uncomfortable situations, but something to be mindful for. Your feet don't need to be that close together. But overall, that's just free advice. I'm not gonna hate on you too much. Yeah, see how much more comfortable he gets as soon as the trees are gone? It's like a totally different skier. Yeah. And even then though, like when he's carving, he's keeping his feet really close together. And what happens when you do that, when you keep your feet so close together, it limits the range of movement you can have with your hips and with loading the ski, right? Because you can only get so much hip separation when your feet are that close together, just because it's hard to balance. So anyway, just a free tip that would kind of prevent you from limiting your skiing ability. Good jump, okay.
It's definitely a powerful ski.
Again, like not what you would expect from a ski expert, quote unquote, but I don't know, for his age, like he's making moves. He looks very athletic and he looks like he's having fun. And I always kind of am willing to give people a little bit more slack when they had to learn straight skis, into their 20s or 30s and then unlearn it. And it looks like he's really taking the time to kind of relearn some of those fundamentals. He doesn't quite have it down with his stance, but I don't know, like, you could say that and be really critical, but there's only a couple little things holding him back from being a really good skier, so. Yeah, Robert, not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, you're doing a lot of things I really like. You're loading up, you're being patient with your turns. It's just kind of this little thing with your stance holding you back. So, Robert, does some of this skiing make you an expert? Yeah, kind of. Like, it's weird. If I saw you skiing and was looking for recommendations, I wouldn't just stop everything I'm hearing you say. I would just be a little bit more, like, it's like a grain of salt. Like, okay, I know you're gonna tend to like things where they don't require a lot of balance. Like, you probably wouldn't like the vocal mantras very much, just because that is a lot of hip movement and balance that would be really uncomfortable if you're skiing with your feet close together. But, you know, if I was sending my dad out to buy skis and you were the guy making recommendations, I don't know, it seems like you have a lot of experience, actually. I don't know, I'm gonna give you a soft pass, Robert. You haven't said anything wild or anything that makes me think that you have no idea what you're talking about, but, and it seems like you have a pretty good set of fundamentals that, I don't know, I would be totally comfortable sending my dad or someone else to get skis recommended by you. But anyway, let's keep going. Uh-oh, I see a yellow jacket. Oh no. All right, Thomas.
A powerful ski, and the titanol metal allows it to definitely punch through that chunder and crunchy snow.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That inside, you ever see someone lift up their inside foot like that? That's like a pretty clear indicator that they're not a very good skier. Thomas is a much worse skier. God. And he's like washing out all of his turns. He's not connecting any of the turns. And I know he's like a little bit in the trees, but he's not even like floating in a comfortable way. Ugh, God. Cuts through the chunder. I don't see you cutting through anything. Okay. Anyway, God, I'm so hard on Thomas, but you know, he deserves it. He's just, yeah, it's bad skiing. Okay, anyway, let's keep going.
Snow, so if you are skiing any sort of variable conditions, this is going to be a pretty good ski for you.
I didn't find this.
Thomas just leans in and tilts so much on his turns that it is so uncomfortable. And it's like, dude, how are you feeling anything loaded? At least Robert, you know, he skis with his feet a little bit close together, but at least he's on center. He's like got a calm upper body. He's got good, solid fundamentals. Thomas is just like, he just looks so sloppy when he skis. And he seems to have no care for like learning, or I don't know. I don't like his skiing. It makes me crazy.
The speed limit on the ski. I felt comfortable skiing at high rates of speed, very confident taking the ski on direct lines through trees.
Ugh. Okay, Robert, that's the first thing you said that I didn't really like. This ski has no speed limits. It's like, dude, that's because you're not skiing it very fast. Don't say that. It also means like next to nothing. Every ski has speed limits, it just depends on the length. There's a reason people don't race in slalom skis when they're doing on a super G hill. And there's a reason that people don't take super G skis in a slalom hill. It's like, because the super G skis don't fit in that turn radius, but also because slalom skis have a speed limit. If you've ever taken a short ski really fast, they start to chatter. So it's like, yeah, some of it is the design, but it really doesn't tell the consumer anything, and it's really misleading. Like, yes, there is gonna be a speed limit to it. One based on length, one based on your weight, based on how much pressure you're keeping on the ski is gonna indicate how much it's chattering. It's such a silly objective thing to say that really means nothing. It's just like kind of a checklist that you can say when you have nothing else to say. And also, you're not going that fast, so it's like, is it really your place to say, Robert, like, you're a good skier, but are you really like sending it? Are you sending it full speed down a super G hill? So would you be able to see its speed limit, or are you just not reaching it? It's like saying, oh, this Toyota Camry has no speed limit because I only go 70 miles per hour on the highway. It's like, yeah, up to 70 it has no limit, but beyond that it will. So, I don't know. A little bit of a nitpick, but I hate when they say that stuff.
Lines through trees. I skied this ski in some uneven terrain and chunder-esque terrain, and it handled really well. The titanol underfoot.
All right, Robert, points for honesty. I love that use of like chunder-esque, because Thomas went in the same stuff and said, this thing cuts through this chunder. And Robert was kind of like, this is not really thick chunder, but what I did see it cut through, chef's kiss. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. I don't appreciate the speed limit thing, but I'm gonna pretend someone told you to say that, or I don't know. It's a common thing people say, but I really appreciate that level of like awareness. Like the stuff I went through, I cut through, but it was so-so, right? Maybe something a little more challenging I wouldn't have cut through. And with Fischer Rangers, those are pretty diverse skis. They probably wouldn't have too much trouble cutting through the chunder, but when I'm watching him ski, I can see that he's not going through this thickest kind of death cookie, really chattery stuff or crunchy stuff. And I know, hey, this man's giving it to me pretty straight. So let's keep going.
Does absorb vibrations of uneven terrain. It is a little narrower than I would want for a true powder ski. This would be a great ski to ski in soft snow in the east. I think in the west it's
yeah, that's kind of true. Careful talking about the East Coast because these people tend to not know what they're talking about. That's kind of right. It would probably make a pretty good East Coast ski on the few times you had powder. And you could do a wider ski, but I think Robert's failing to see that, like, if he was in a powder day, a 96 would be more than plenty, and he'd probably have a fine time. Also, like, the amount of vibration it's absorbing, that isn't the skis. It's not like a bike where it has suspension. A lot of that comes from your legs and how you're kind of timing out your turns. So I don't know that that's a totally fair thing to put on the skis. And West Coast people go crazy with the width. I get it, like in a big powder day, you want wide skis, but a 96 should be more than plenty for like 85% of the days. So he's not like totally off the mark, but I would challenge some of that.
more of a ski for days where it hasn't snowed in a while.
This ski is definitely not a beginner ski. I would also.
Yeah, that's fair. If it hasn't snowed in a while, yeah. I mean, but that's most days, right? Like, and I think that when I skied the Fischer Ranger as it was snowing, it skied fine. I think that you didn't get to test it on the powder, and you're trying to hedge your bets a little bit. And that's fair, but just say that then. Don't say like, oh, I don't know if I'd take it on a powder day. It's like, really, why not? My brother skis on Fischer Rangers, and he loves them in the powder. I skied on a powder day, and I love them. But anyway, that's a nitpick. So overall, he's not saying anything wild. Let's see what Thomas has to say. He said he wouldn't recommend it for beginners. Thomas thinks anyone below him is a beginner and everyone above him is an expert, not realizing that he's kind of the beginner here. Because these skis are like pretty easy to initiate, and I would have no problem recommending it. I have friends that just started skiing in the last couple years, would have no doubts about recommending a Fischer Ranger. But I don't know. That's kind of a subjective thing where he just thinks anyone, he is the true north, and everybody else is based off of him. And I guess we all kind of do that, but come on, Thomas, this is not great skiing, and this ski is perfectly easy to turn. I'd have no problem recommending it to almost, anyone intermediate or below. Even experts. I mean, this is a very easy ski to initiate, but holds pretty well. I don't know. I mean, I like these skis a lot. The turn initiation is a little different timing than I'm used to, so it's not why. It's like why I didn't buy them. But they're a very nice ski. The turn initiation is great on them.
I'd also say it's probably not so much of an intermediate ski. Upper intermediate to advanced, all mountain skiers are going to love this ski. It's going to be super versatile.
Oh, so you just couldn't ski it? Is that what I'm hearing? Or you could ski it? Thomas, I get so lost in what you're trying to say. Also, these are like a very easy ski to turn. Even though you're kind of struggling with it. I mean, you're doing some okay little short radius turns. To Thomas's credit, and credit where it's due, he's making some okay short radius turns, but I'm not sure he's getting like the full experience of the ski here.
If you're looking to ski the park, if you're looking to ski switch a ton, or you're...
God, he just looks so uncomfortable. Every turn, I take it back. When he like, does this man load the ski and get the next turn? No, he just washes it out. Oh, I got a little speed, better throw it away. God, it's like infuriating to watch him ski. God, Thomas, come on. It's like, it's so, I don't know what the right word is, mildly infuriating to watch him ski. Like, because I visualized how the line would go. I visualized this like really beautiful snow and some nice lines you can take. And he like will kind of set up for it and just psh, wash out. Wash out. Oh, that's too much speed. Oh, this isn't advanced. It's like, dude, those skis are really easy to initiate turns and they'll load up a turn. Like, use the ski. Use it. You've got it right there in your hands, Thomas. Use it. I skied it. Come on. Anyway. Okay. All right, Thomas. Let's just keep going. It's not gonna get better. It's been 2 years, right? I watched his first video on the 2022 skis, so that should have been in 2021. And this is a 2024 ski. So if my math is mathing, it should be 2 years. Skiing all these skis, you must have gotten some kind of insight, dude. But it's not gonna get better. I know it's not.
Or you're a brand new skier, this ski is not for you.
If you feel like charging some days and other days you might want to take it a little easier, or a hard carbon ski that can also jib, this would be a really good choice. Skis work.
Thomas said everything wrong and Robert said everything right. Like, bravo. Bravo, Robert. You said that perfectly. That's exactly how I feel about the ski. If you want to take it easy when you're in the trees and you want to be able to have an easy to initiate turn, Chef's Kiss Fischer Ranger's for you. If you like a ski that you can load when you want, Fischer Ranger, very nice ski. What Thomas said was absolute nonsense, and it's like, dude, this guy has just spent too much time on the curated forums typing things out rather than actually skiing the ski and experience it. Robert, I can tell, is really skiing it, because what he's saying, while his form isn't perfect, is accurate to the ski. So, 2 thumbs up for Robert, 2 thumbs down for Thomas. I don't know why I see Thomas so much. Like, what is it? Who owns Curated? Is it Thomas's like stepdad? I don't get this. Anyway.
Skis work differently for different types of skiers. If you're wondering if these skis are the right ski,
yeah, good skis work for good skiers, and people who can't tell their eyelid from their elbow aren't going to be able to figure it out. That, I know they say this line every time and I rip on it, but it's just too easy. It's like, yeah, the piñata comes down every birthday, but I'm still gonna hit it. I'm still gonna take a whack at it. Okay, anyway.
for you, click the link below and get connected to me or one of my fellow experts.
Ooh,
if you like this video and you want to see more.
They didn't have to do that to you, Robert. You were just stopping and they made it look like you're tilting into your turn. Ugh. And I mean, you do that a little bit, so, but in this case, you were using it to slow yourself down. Ugh, man, the cameraman did you dirty though. They should have cut that out.
See more video content from me and other curated experts, hit subscribe.
What is with Curated? How do they have like some of like the most like, because Robert is not perfect, but he's pretty keen on a couple things. Like, he's got a pretty good feel for what that ski's doing, even if he's a little tippy and feet close together, but at least like he's feeling the ski. Even if it's an imperfect turn, he's getting parts of it and he's able to feel at least half the turn and able to cue in on things. Thomas has no idea what's going on. Thomas might as well be down at the mall trying on sunglasses because he has no idea what those skis are doing, and he just like, well, like, I don't know how he does it, but he picks a ski and he's just like, this ski is for this person and nothing else. And this ski will never, it's like, dude, there's so much more nuance into like how people ski. It's in your own slogan. Different people ski on skis differently. But like, Thomas, I beg you, just like load the ski. You should go into these things blind. You're like reading off of the pamphlet and then just making your decisions off of that, like for who the ski is for, advanced, not advanced, intermediate, beginner. Thomas, just, okay, here is some like genuine, honest advice. Just go into the skis. If you can like have someone cover the top sheet so you're not even looking at them, if you can do a turn with your eyes closed, just really feel the ski, feel how it's loading, like get a feel for the ski rather than just saying, this is for intermediate, this is for beginner. Dude, just feel the ski and like load the ski enough that you can get a feel for it. Think about, how does this feel when it initiates? Like, dude, how have you tested this many skis and not been able to feel the difference? This is like people who go to like nice restaurants and they're like, yeah, just tastes like garlic. Like, there's subtlety, there's like beauty to each ski. Thomas, come on, man. Okay, anyway, messages in a bottle that Thomas will never receive. Robert, you also will never receive this message, but you are a good skier. There's a couple things you could do to improve, and I'm sure you hear this all the time. but I can tell when somebody's put in the mileage, and you look like you've put in the mileage into skiing. Just with the comfort of where you're skiing, how you kind of set up your line. Your skiing's not perfect, but you seem to have a good feel for at least the first half of the turn. So, overall, I give, you know, cheers to you, Robert. Thomas, I don't know. I want you to do some soul searching, my man, because, God, these videos are rough. They're rough to watch, and it's like I'm watching my children mess with my tools. I just, no, don't do that. No, stop. That's my reaction and how I feel when I watch you ski. So, anyway, wow. That was wild. Fischer Ranger was like the most nothing burger like review I did this year, and I don't know how I got so heated, but here we are. So anyway, if you liked this React video, please leave a like and comment something else you want me to react to. Obviously not the Kardashians. And just in general, thank you everybody. Thank you for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. And sorry again I wasn't able to get you guys that weekend content out. It's sitting in a folder on my computer. I just can't upload it anywhere. So, but anyway, thanks for watching this content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.